The way out of this is not to blame the cell phone manufacturers. They didn't cause the problem. They just made the best of a bad job. Reinventing electricity to make a cell phone safe is a lot of work. There are people working on it. There are people working on recreating the Tesla devices, which means that instead of a charge in your cell phone lasting for maybe 3-4 hours of speech, it will last for maybe 6 months. Because you start using devices at anything approaching reasonable efficiency, and a reasonable efficiency is about 70% instead of 2 to 3%. You don't have the level of wastage that we do at the moment. You also don't have a power cartel. You also don't have air pollution caused by exhaust emissions from cars. Because if they're just pulling free energy out of the quantum fields, using it and then giving it back, where is the pollution? It doesn't exist. Where is the cost? There are no fueling costs. This is why Mr. Morgan stopped Tesla bringing us into an era of free energy. It's happening anyway. There are so many people working on it now that it is inevitable. There are lots and lots of devices which have been produced, many of which have been successfully suppressed by the power cartel, but there are now so many people with so many different types of successful machines that it's going to break out. There are even governments willing to back it. So we're going to get there. However, in the meantime, we have to deal with this problem. And we can't stop using telephones. The whole of our society would collapse. We have a mass communication society, and unless we can communicate, it's going to disintegrate. What we need to do is to work out how to stop this problem happening. There are many, many ways of dealing with electrosmog after it has happened. You can put lots and lots of expensive sheathing around power cables, which absorb the electrosmog, so they don't let it out so it affects you. You can stick little devices onto your phones which generate a constant interference wave. Now, an interference wave is the principle that if you have two waves on exactly the same frequency and you bring them together, they cancel each other out, as you see in this diagram that's happening right now. The problem here is that you're locking the stable door after the horse has bolted. The electrosmog has already been generated. And how do you know that the interference signal that you're creating is the one which is going to remove the problem? You don't, you can only guess. And the other problem with such a technology is that as soon as there is any sort of change in cell phone technology, and as you know yourself, it changes about on average every 18 months, your device no longer works because the problem frequencies are different ones. There's a much better way to do it, and that is to reorder the electricity in the battery. If the electricity going from the battery into the phone is all ordered, the phone can use all of it, and it no longer needs to throw off in the form of wild electron bundles the electricity which is too chaotic to be used. And there is a way of doing this. It's called the harmony Mini. It's a product from Harmony United. And what it does through quantum resonance is to reorder the electricity in the battery so that as electricity flows from the battery into the phone, all of it is usable. No electrosmog is generated. And the beauty of it is, because you're working with the electricity itself, whatever changes there are to the cell phone technology, it makes absolutely no difference. This continues to work perfectly. Do take a look at it. You'll notice that your ear no longer gets hot. Thank you.